Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Green Screen Modernization for Business Efficiency. We're going to start in a few minutes. We just want to give a few people a chance just to settle in and make sure they're connected properly, and we'll be right back with you. All right, just checking the time. I think we have most of whoever we're going to have. So let's start up. So welcome everyone to today's webinar, Green Screen Modernization for Business Efficiency. And we're both really excited. All of us are really excited to have you join us today. I'm Andrew Vaitchunas, and I'm pleased to introduce your presenter for today, sitting one way or another way from me here, Eugene King, who will be taking you through the process of modernizing green screen systems and how it can drive efficiency and productivity in your business. We'll cover a range of topics today, including practical solutions to transform outdated systems into modern, user-friendly interfaces without the heavy cost of complete redevelopment. Throughout the session, feel free to ask questions. We'll make sure to try to address them either during the presentation with Eugene King's excellent knowledge of the product, and in our Q&A session at the very end. So we're going to give plenty of time at the end to cover your questions. So let's dive in and get started. Eugene.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and welcome everyone. Now, before we dive into today's discussion, let's quickly go over the agenda for the webinar today. So hopefully you can see my screen, but what we'll do is we'll begin by exploring the challenges posed by outdated green screen interfaces and why modernizing them is essential for today's business landscape. Next, I'll discuss how legacy applications, while powerful, can hold organizations back due to their outdated user interfaces. Then I'll dive into the significant advantages of refacing green screens and enabling them for the web, focusing on improvement, usability, accessibility, and efficiency. I'll walk you through the process of transforming your green screens into modern applications using our refacing product called Axes. And I'll demonstrate how simple and impactful that transition can be during that demonstration. Before we wrap up, I'll summarize the most important insights and actionable points from today's session. And of course, as Andrew mentioned, we'll leave time at the end for your questions. Lastly, we'll share how you can contact us for more details or assistance after the webinar. So let's get started. So first of all, let's take a look at some of the key challenges with outdated green screen systems and how modernizing them can help. First is the user experience. So green screens rely on a text-heavy interface that's unintuitive, especially for the younger employees who are used to having the modern graphical user interfaces. Now, this can lead to frustration and lower user satisfaction. Next, of course, is the productivity limitations. The outdated design means employees take longer to complete their tasks. They can make more errors, and it's a steeper learning curve to come to grips with the system, and that can reduce the overall efficiency. And a key part is the workforce satisfaction. Modern systems improve employees' experience. This can reduce their frustration and help to attract top talent to your organization. Modernizing those green screens improves accessibility. With web access and mobile compatibility, you can enable your employees to work remotely and more flexibly. And finally, integration is also an issue. Green screens don't integrate well with newer apps, and this can lead to data silos and workarounds that overall slow things down. And green screen problems are not just limited to one industry. They affect a wide range of sectors, from manufacturing and retail to finance, healthcare, and government. These outdated interfaces often create significant barriers to productivity, as they are difficult to navigate and counterintuitive for modern users. Additionally, the lack of visual appeal and ease of use results in lower user satisfaction. And this has a chance of increasing the chance of errors or misunderstanding inside the daily tasks. Moreover, the rigidity of the green screen system hinders that operational efficiency, and employees spend more time managing these legacy interfaces than focusing on their core tasks. And this can slow down decision making, your customer service, and your overall business agility. In today's fast-paced digital world, these inefficiencies can be a major competitive disadvantage. Modernizing these systems is essential to address these specific challenges. So what are the benefits of refacing and web enabling your legacy green screen systems? Firstly, refacing transforms your outdated green screens into a user-friendly graphical interface. And you can do this without changing the back-end system. In this way, you maintain the stability and the reliability of your core system, but improve the overall user experience. In fact, you can have some users using the green screen and some users using the reface screens. Now, the reface screens are more intuitive and visually appealing. Employees can complete the tasks faster, reduce the amount of errors in the process, and cut down on the learning curve. And I'm hoping to demonstrate that through the demo a little later on in the presentation. Now, additionally, web enabling these refaced applications means that they can be accessed through any web browser. There is no need for a dedicated terminal or special client software. From an IT perspective, web enabling simplifies management by centralizing access and reducing reliance on outdated hardware. And modernizing that green screen interface also allows organizations to extend the life of their legacy systems without the high cost of redevelopment or replacement. And this approach helps protect the significant investment already made in your system while still enhancing the functionality and the user experience. By modernizing the interface, the workflows are streamlined, reducing your task completion times and minimizing manual errors. With a more intuitive system, employees can work more efficiently, boosting their productivity and accuracy within their daily operations. Furthermore, web enabling these systems provides employees with remote access, making it easier to support mobile workforce. It allows secure access from any location and supports a flexible and hybrid work environment. So across all industries, refacing is a key enabler of digital transformation, improving usability, efficiency, and user satisfaction while extending the value of your existing system. So now that we've looked at the issues and the benefits, so what I'd like to do is introduce you to Axes. So Axes is a comprehensive solution for modernizing your legacy green screen applications. It enables you to web enable and reface your IBMI system, transforming them from outdated text-based screens into a modern, intuitive, browser-based applications. And I'm hoping to show you that in the demonstration. Now, what's great about Axis is that it doesn't require you to alter any of the underlying code. It integrates seamlessly with your existing systems, preserving your core business logic while improving the overall user experience. With Axis, you can easily enhance functionality by adding features, making your application more interactive and user-friendly. So let's take a look at what Axis can do for your systems before we go on to the demo. So styling and the way that the way the applications appear, those visual elements. So the styling, the visual elements with Axis are key to creating that more intuitive, engaging user experience. When you see in the demonstration, the difference between a reface screens with styling compared to your standard 5250 screen, you'll see where that can make a big impact. By modernizing the appearance of your legacy applications, Axis makes them easier to use with clearer layouts, intuitive navigation, and visually appealing elements. So these updates help users quickly understand and interact with your system, so it makes it more intuitive. And this reduces the learning curve, and it improves the overall user satisfaction with the actual system. You can incorporate interactive controls, like radio buttons, drop downs, calendar pickers. Axis makes legacy systems far easier to use by adding these types of controls, which will help to boost efficiency and reduce errors. Rather than entering a date manually, you use a date picker. Rather than entering a value, you select it from a drop down. So it can reduce the errors in the day-to-day operation of that actual system. And how you display the information is key. So effective information display with group boxes and visualizations ensures that users engage with the data more intuitively, making legacy systems significantly more user-friendly. And you'll see again some examples of that in the actual demonstration. Adding images, adding rich content like images and hyperlinks enhances that functionality and interactivity of the applications even further, providing users with, again, more intuitive tools to access specific piece of information and to complete tasks more quickly and more effectively. And you can even add customizable actions. So in Axis, the developer is able to create and integrate actions such as buttons and scripts into the actual interface. And again, I'll show you an example when we get to the demo. So these actions automate repetitive tasks and can reduce the number of steps needed to complete the common functions. So ultimately, Axis helps boost your productivity, improves efficiency, and increases user satisfaction, all without the high cost and time commitments typically associated with redevelopment projects. So let's dive into a demo. So I'm just going to talk you through what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to start out with a green screen application from my demo application to give you a sense of what things look like before we apply any sort of modernization. Then I'll show you what Axis looks like once it's installed. You'll notice the immediate improvements as it turns those green screens into a more modern web-based interface. Next, I'll show you how application styles and global auto GUI rules, and I'll talk about those a little bit more when we get to the actual application, how those can be applied and how this can further enhance the user experience by giving the screens a more polished look, a more consistent look across the entire application. So you don't have to go into individual screens, you can just do it for the whole application. And after that, I'll take a look at where we can add value to specific screens. Now, when I look at modernizing systems, I use an 80-20 rule. So this rule states that users will spend 80% of their time in 20% of their screens. And we'll focus on those screens with features like images, maps, in order to really boost both functionality and user engagement. And finally, I'll show you how easy it is to add functionality to a specific screen by showing you the development tool.